All right, so I got some great news here from my client. I'm about to give her a call, let her know that her new home has recorded and the home is hers. So we're gonna place a call right now and give her the good news, and maybe in an hour or so go deliver keys. So let's see how this goes. Hey, Stella?
Yeah,
Stella,
Mike,
can you
what's
hear me?
Yeah,
All right, something came up. Your home closed,
yeah.
so the home is yours.
So you got the key? Don't just need them. Damn you! It's like it's like it's like I'm gonna kill you if I see you. Oh my goodness!
The home is yours. We're closed. It's all done. It's all done.
Oh my God!
So
Oh my God!
I just got the email right now that it's confirmed, so we can go get keys. You're all set to go.
Oh, okay.
How you feeling?
Okay, we cannot. Shut. I almost peed in my pants, you dimwit. You scared her, Christian?
I had to, make it a little more interesting.
Shut up!
All right, before you guys say this was mean to me, I want to start with this, is that Stella is a personal friend of mine. She actually, before she became a friend of mine, she was actually my manager. Back in, I'm going to say 1998, 1999. It was one of my first, real jobs that I had with the credit union, and she happened to be my manager there. So that's how we first met, and we've actually been in contact ever since. So about 5 months ago, Stella and her husband Mike weren't even sure they were going to list their home. Last Thursday, we ended up selling our home in Chino Hills, and we sold it for $909,000. A home they bought in 1998 for $198,000. And they just closed on their new single-story home just yesterday in the city of Ontario for $800,000. Now, the sale and the way she bought her home weren't done in the traditional way. It was done a little bit different, so it wasn't simple. We had two open escrows, the sale of her home and the escrow for the purchase of her new property, with no contingency safety net. And this created a lot of pressure. So let me share with you what actually happened, because this applies to a lot of homeowners in the Inland Empire right now. But before we start the story, if you're new here, my name is Christian Medina. I help homeowners in the Inland Empire make strategic real estate moves, especially when timing feels uncertain. And this one had a lot of uncertainty. So let me give you guys the backstory here. Stella and Mike bought their home in Chino Hills around the time I met her in 1998 from Lewis Homes. It was a brand new construction. They raised their two daughters there, over 25 years of memory, but life changed. Their daughters graduated, they became essentially empty nesters, and the two-story home didn't fit their next chapter anymore. They wanted a single-story home, newer construction, something that was open layout, turnkey, not bigger, just better for the stage of life. Now, there was something from that list we weren't able to attain, and that was the not bigger part. They ended up with something actually bigger. Their previous home was 2,000 square feet for 4 bedrooms, two-story home. They ended up with a single-story home that's a little over 2,200 square feet, but only 3 bedrooms. Crazy thing is that we actually spoke about this move about 3 years ago. And later in this video, I'll let them tell the story on how they remember it. But every time we ran numbers, it just didn't feel like it was the right time for them. When we finally listed the home in October of last year, 2025, we started off with the first 2 weeks, a lot of showings. And then every week after that, it started really declining to a halt, almost no showings whatsoever. And when things like that happen, because the way the market was, we were having a lot of competition, there wasn't a lot of movement from other inventory. So we were noticing homes were staying on the market 30, 40, 50, 60 plus days. The ones that were actually selling were having big deductions, $50,000 off the price. On some of them, even giving an extra $20,000 towards closing costs. So at that point, she was kind of like, if it sells, cool, and if it doesn't, we're fine. It just wasn't meant to be. So on November 3rd, we put the home on hold for the holidays. They had family visiting from the Philippines, and honestly, that pause actually helped us. We relisted back in January 2015 of this year. The showings increased, and within 10 days, we secured a really strong offer. But the biggest concern from them was always this: what happens if we sell our home and now we can't find a replacement property? And this is where things for them got a little bit intense, because the buyer that we got, the only way he would actually move forward with a purchase is that if we did not include our replacement of sale contingency, meaning that if we opened up a 30-day escrow, we would actually close in 30 days plus the extra days that they would allow them to vacate the property, even if they hadn't secured a replacement property. So traditionally it's done where we let the buyer know that we will sell it to you only when we find a replacement property, and then it gives us some time to go out there and look, make our offer, and so forth. But in this case, this buyer, he was eager to move. So luckily for my seller, they had a place they can go to if needed, and which is why she decided to say, you know what, let's go ahead and accept it, and we'll figure it out. One of the good things that happened is that weeks prior, she was driving around the neighborhood in Ontario, and she saw that someone was showing this particular house. She thought it was an open house, so she actually stopped her car. She spoke to the person that was in front of the home. It was just another agent showing their clients a property, and she asked, would you allow me just to go see it real quick for, give me about 5 minutes to look at the home, because she kept seeing it online. She saw it and she fell in love with the home. She reached out to me and told me, hey Christian, I literally found my dream home. Anything we can do about it? And when I looked up the home, it was actually a home that I had sent her previous times, and but I did see that it was already an escrow. They actually had accepted an offer on that property just about a week ago. I was really determined to help them in capturing this dream home for them. So I reached out to the listing agent to see where things were, and she actually told me that that escrow was a little shaky. So I saw an opportunity there to step in, and we submitted our offer. Now they did counter us back, so the twist here was that they would accept our offer, but we cannot include the contingency of the sale of her present home, which we wouldn't be able to buy the present home if the other home, her present home, wasn't closed, because she needed the funds for that property in order to buy this one. But they had 3 other offers at the property at that time, and ours at that point was the strongest offer, but it would make it even stronger if we remove that contingency. So I spoke to my clients, and they say, you know what, let's go for it. I think there's something good about this. I'm getting a feeling here from God that's telling me that we're gonna be okay. So we went ahead and submitted the offer. So now we had 2 open escrows that had no contingencies for the sale of her property. If the sale of her Chino Hills home fell apart, everything would collapse. And that put a lot of pressure on everyone, including myself. The strategies that I used for the sale of her home in Chino Hills was this. I had my lender cross-qualify the buyer, verify financing, make sure it was a strong and clean offer. And on the purchase side, we wrote a competitive offer that could beat the backup offers without overpaying. When the appraisal came in, the value came in exactly at what we offered. Then it became about execution, staying on top of the contingencies, disclosures, deadlines, because I knew the seller would cancel if we slipped. Because the agent let me know that the day they accepted our offer, another offer had come in that was stronger, and it was actually a higher offer than what we placed. So they made it a point to us to let them know that if we were gonna, or even thinking of backing off from the escrow, to let them know immediately so they wouldn't lose that offer on that home. At the end of the day, everything fell in place on the sales side of her Chino Hills home and on the buying side of her Ontario home. And we ended up closing 12 days ahead of schedule. So here are the results. Initially, Stella and Mike, they expected their home to sell around $890,000. That's what they thought the value of their home was. We ended up selling it for $909,000. I do feel that if we would have listed her home earlier in the year, she probably would have gotten more. But the market shifted. The market changes week to week, month to month, and by the time we put her home on the market, there was a lot of competition. And as I mentioned earlier, there were a lot of homes that were sitting on the market for way longer than that area was used to. But in the end, they turned a long-term equity into lifestyle freedom. They sold for $909,000, purchased their new single-story home for $800,000. That single-story home is an open layout, a big kitchen, perfect for entertaining. It's actually bigger than the one that they used to have. And most importantly, they got relief. So for you homeowners right now, if you owned your home for 15, 20, 25 years and you're thinking, I don't know if this is possible anymore, you're not alone. Most homeowners don't need to list first. They need clarity first. Run the numbers, understand the risk, build a strategy, then make the move. After we closed the escrow and I met with them, handed them their keys, I did a short interview with them, and I wanted to share that interview with you guys so they could tell you guys in their own words, you know, how they felt before, during, and after the sale and purchase of their new home. All right, so just got here meeting my clients here in their brand new home, and they're popping out of the car now. And I wanted to say, congratulations, Stella. Congrats. Congratulations, Michael.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Hey, I got a couple of things for you guys. It's all your earnings in the box from the sale of your home. Got your keys. Go ahead and walk the red carpet there. Don't trip over the carpet, though. Can't have you guys tripping over my video. And there you go. I wanted to say congratulations again, guys. Successful closing. 12 days before even closing. We're supposed to close at the end of the month. Congratulations, guys. Let me have you guys pop open the champagne bottle here. You guys don't know how to open it, right? Whenever you're ready. So shake. There you go. Congrats. Grab the two glasses from the bucket, Stella. So first, again, congratulations on the purchase of your new home.
Thank you.
I wanted to do this part of the video just to ask you guys questions on how both transactions went for you guys. So let's first talk how we know each other. So how do we know each other?
We've known each other for, started in 94. When did you start?
Man,
I started in 94.
It was it was probably like my third job I've ever had. But like,
Yeah, you were young.
Yeah, I was 21, 22, I think at the time.
So you would say we started working in this credit union, Westcourt, and probably I would say if it's 94, about 97 is good.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
97, 26.
Yeah.
That's 29 years. We've known each other for 29
We've known each other
years.
for a very long time, and she's one of the people, that I've kept in touch with at Westcorp. There's a few of them, and you guys are you were one of the few. And it's funny because I got to know you there, and your girls too when they were little
you
girls.
knew him even when we were still working together. You knew
From the
him.
parties too, I met him,
yeah.
and he used to come show up. But so this whole time we stayed in contact, and I think it was like 3 years ago you hit me up the first time.
Yes.
You were thinking about selling.
No, 3 years ago, my father-in-law passed away, and my mother-in-law needed help with her house because she was on reverse mortgage, and my in-laws, my sisters-in-law, had no clue what to do. So I suggested, I know a realtor.
That's right.
I've worked with him. I don't know how he is as a realtor, but I know him as a person because I worked with him.
And I do remember that because it was your mom at the house, and she was in kind of a predicament there, right? Because the home,
the house was in bad shape.
Yeah.
yeah, I think was there a leak?
There was
Yeah.
a leak that happened from there's
The
tank,
bathroom.
in the tank.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember what they called it, but it leaked
No,
into the bathroom.
it's bad.
Yeah,
bad.
so what I remember it was that when I came to the house, you guys had warned me already, but when I saw it, there was like drywall missing from almost like the bottom part of the whole house.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was a nice property, good sized lot. It just needed that what we call TLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I did at that point was, as soon as we signed the listing, I started promoting the listing before it even hit the market. So I was letting my realtor friends know, my lenders know, and one of the lenders I was working with actually had someone that was looking in that area for something like that.
Didn't know that.
And they work with contractors, so for them, when they saw the house, I'm like, oh, this is easy. We'll fix it. So
That's why my in-laws were so grateful. They were not expecting to still get money out of the house.
Oh, yeah,
The
that's
way
right.
it was.
yeah, so I was happy to help her out, and
Thank
she
you
moved out
very
to
much.
Redlands, right? Was it
Loma
Linda?
Linda,
Loma
yes.
Linda. So I was happy about that time. But I know you at that time were also thinking. I think you were starting to think about selling this one because we had spoken around that time about Swift Fox.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about the value.
Yeah. I wanted to know how much is the
Yeah.
value of the house and all that. So every month I get an email like, okay, here's the value of your house. It's going up. Okay, Christian, enough.
So just to let you guys know, when you work with me, I have
You will get all that.
So as soon as you close on this one, you're actually already on
I
it.
know.
So every month you'll get a valuation, estimated valuation about your property. So it's just to keep you informed whether you want to sell or you don't. It's just to let you know what your home is worth. Some people just
And
want to know.
It was a good thing. Actually, those
Those emails?
updates, I would just scroll, okay, what's the value? And it kept going up and going up and going up. And it's like, okay. And I decided we're getting too old for a two-story. So let's see.
Explore the idea of doing
Yeah.
it, right?
We really, let's take the next step.
Yeah. And then at the beginning of last year, I think we spoke again, and then somewhere around the summer
Was it August that you presented
August,
us
September,
the comparables?
It could have been August. Yeah,
Yeah,
it sounds about right because it was
yeah.
like 2 to 3 months before we even listed.
Yes.
But I think
yes.
prior to that, you were already kind of talking about
Yes.
it, but you guys had things you guys wanted to do.
Yes.
So finally, it came into August. I gave you guys the valuation, and we set it up for October, right? So October is when the home hit the market, and at the time we hit the market, well, before we hit the market, the competition was kind of low. But as soon as that same week we listed, we actually have competition within her neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we started off with a price, and we had to adjust according to the market because we started seeing other homes that were staying on the market longer than they typically did. And most of them were selling, 30, 40, some of them even $50,000
$50,000
less.
Less.
And on top of that, they were giving closing costs to the buyer, so an extra 20 for that. So we started off at a certain price. We put it on hold November and December for the holidays, right? Because you guys were gonna have family over. But it actually ended up working out perfect because in January when we listed it, within 10 days we had our offer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
ended up being a good offer, a strong buyer, and it actually worked out at the end.
I didn't think it was even 10 days. It's like when we
Yeah, it was
that first open house of the year.
Oh yeah, we had so
already-
much.
yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of interest in it, and that's when I met the buyer actually the first
buyer,
time.
Yeah.
This transaction, well, your transaction on the sale and this transaction on the buying was the first time I did it differently. And do you guys know what that was?
No.
Is not having the contingencies in place.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
true.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was a panic stage for me because my buyer, the buyer of our home, did not want us to wait till we bought a house. So I panicked and I didn't know, but I wanted the house to sell right away. So we decided, okay, worst case scenario, we will move out
Go
to
somewhere
wherever. But I hated
The idea of doing
two
that.
moves,
Two
moving
moves.
to a temporary place and then moving to a permanent place. So that
Yeah.
would be two moves. So
And I'll tell you guys, that kind of put me a little stressed out too, because now, I mean, it's typical for us to be able to sell a house, do it with a contingency, let them know, and then we have the time to go and search.
yeah, that's the normal.
Yeah, that's the normal way of doing it. So that was not really normal, a way that I've ever done it before, but it did put a little more
Pressure.
I think on
Pressure.
all of us.
Yeah.
And what added to it too is that this house kept coming up on her she had found it.
I found this house, and it was not. We were just going around, driving around, and we saw that it has a for sale sign, but not an open house. So there was a lady, the door was open, and she was presenting the house. She was an agent presenting the house to her client. So I asked, could we just see the house? We'll be fast, we'll just go around. I mean, please, just, and I loved it. You know how when you step into a house, that feeling that
You feel it.
I love this house. And Chris, you would always say, see, but when you have that feeling and you're not selling your house, it's not in the market, that feeling will go away because it's a useless feeling.
Yeah.
So we knew the house was already in the market. So I really loved the house. So when you had a buyer, I asked you, because you said this house was like on the second escrow already.
Yeah, second escrow.
So I texted you and I asked you, is it mean to wish that the escrow
Falls out of escrow.
falls out escrow? And you said, no, I'll go ask.
Yeah.
That's what you answered.
Yeah. But she did say something important because she was at a time where she was thinking of selling her home, but she was out here looking at other properties. But I told her, you want to at least have yours at the very least on the market, because it's no point for you to go out and look at homes and fall in love with a house, and then you want to go back and list your home, and we got to get it in escrow. It's a long process. So if you're someone right now that's thinking of doing something like this, it's always better to have your home at the very least, in the market, and at the very best in escrow.
Yeah.
So this one worked out for us. This was already, they had just gotten into escrow on this one with a previous buyer. But I called the agent and just to kind of get a feel to see where they were at, and she let me know that it was a little shaky. So that kind of gave me a little more hope. So I started negotiating with her on the phone at that time. Hey, if we came in at this price, would it work? If we did this, everything sounded great. We submitted the offer, but then they came back and also told us they didn't want the contingency of the sale of her house.
Yeah.
So
no contingency at all.
So we had no contingency for replacement property on her home, and also on the one she was buying. So it made everything even more
Exciting.
exciting. And then you had
And stressful.
stressful. So they were stressed. I had to make sure I was really on top of all of our contingencies. I had to make sure that I had to make sure the buyer for their property was solid, coming through all the contingencies before we can move ours here. And this one, they actually had another offer that they said was better than ours, but they had accepted ours already. So on this one, if any mistake we would have made or any hiccup, they would have canceled us, and they would have booted us out of it. But everything worked out. We ended up closing 12 days earlier, and now we're here.
Yeah.
So you got your home, and
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. So it was worth all the stress. It was worth all the wait. It was worth all the pressure. But really, prayers help.
yeah.
I've always said, everything for a reason and a reason for everything, and by God's will, Jesus Christ, and He willed it. He willed it. So.
And I gotta say, when she told me that she really wanted this house, when I saw that it was active under contract, I was kind of like, it's gonna be kind of a tough one. But like you say, prayer and I was out there manifesting too. I manifest in the mornings. I do meditate, I journal and stuff. So I journal for things to happen, and everything was kind of falling in place. I'm like, man, this is really gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And when they finally fell out of escrow and they accepted it, I'm like,
That's
oh
why
my
when you
damn.
said, that's why when you said, it's not going well with the escrow, and I go, sorry, I prayed for that. sorry, I did pray for that. But
It wasn't meant to be for the other people, but so I'm happy that you got the house that you really wanted, because I know you were making excuses saying, well, it was a little too big for me anyways. And then she came back to me the next day, Christian, I really want that house.
I wanted that house.
She
I
wanted
wanted the house.
So I'm happy that this one actually worked out for you guys. I'm happy that you guys got what you wanted, and make the big move today. So overall, not thinking of all the stress of what may happen. What do you think? How do you think the process went? Was it overall smooth? Communication was good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for the
You
most
were
part,
you
yeah.
were always there for us. I mean, any little thing, any big thing that I do not understand, that I have a question, and because maybe our relationship,
Yeah.
it's like I don't care what you,
Yeah,
if you're sleeping, I don't care, but if you get him, please be awake at 6:30 because it's no fun. He will be texting you at 8:30 when you get up. It's like, come on, it's Saturday.
You'll have an update as soon as you wake up. The updates are there. And I always did everything like we communicate through Zoom a lot.
Yeah.
And I have a program called
Yes.
Loom where I record. Like when I was selling our house, I would give them weekly updates on what's happening. So I would just record a video, show them comps, what's active, what went pending, what's sold. That way you guys knew what was going on in your market, and we can adjust
Yeah.
to how the market was going. But I would say that you were probably closer to the price at the very end. Because remember when I asked you, what price do you think you would sell? You told me $890.
I would say around high 8,
Yeah.
not over 9. I didn't
Yeah.
expect it to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were a lot closer at the end to it. But hey, can't say we didn't try, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, we tried it. We tried at the price, and
Like
we
I
saw that
said,
it didn't
yes,
work.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
But awesome, guys. Well, again, thank you for doing the little interview here, and,
Oh, yeah,
and congratulations.
of course. Thank you again, Christian.
My arm was actually being twisted.
All right, you can release. All right, guys. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so if you guys are in the Inland Empire and you're wondering whether downsizing, upgrading, or repositioning your equity makes sense, call me first. Let's look at your options before you assume it can't be done. My number is 909-374-4260. And if this story was helpful, please subscribe. I break down real local scenarios so you can make smarter decisions in this market. YouTube thinks this next video is best recommended for you, especially if you're thinking about buying or selling in 2026. I'll see you guys in the next video.